Hey, what is up, guys? Joseph here, and this is going to be the first ever tier list maker I do. I've seen quite a few YouTubers do this kind of stuff on their channels, and I figured I may as well give it a shot. But yeah, this is going to be the superhero and comic book movie tier list maker. I've scrolled through some of these just to glance at what's all on here. There are a few. I didn't really count to see how many there were, but there are a few that I have never seen. So there's going to be some that I can't rank, but every one of these movies that I have seen, I'll be ranking today. First off, let me add another tier. I forgot to do this before I started doing this video. Go F tier for the real crap movies. And also, some of these movies, it has been quite a while since I have seen. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. First up, we got a movie that I have not seen in quite a while, The Crow. I do remember seriously loving this movie, but I remember there were a few problems, so I'm going to put it in tier level B right now. Seriously underrated movie. Rest in peace to Brandon Lee. Tragically died while filming this movie. I mean, it's a very, very good superhero movie, revenge story. Very underrated. Up next, Big Hero 6. Oh, boy. Love Big Hero 6. I'm probably going to have to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since I was preparing for that ranking of all the 56 Disney animated movies. But I do remember loving it. I don't know if I would put it on A tier, though. I'm going to put it at tier level B for right now. Batman and Robin. I'm torn between F or D. Because it's a bad movie, but it's so unintentional bad that it's amusing, with Arnold Schwarzenegger's performance with all the puns he's doing, George Clooney's performance, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, the Bane. I mean, it was just a roided monster. Uma Thurman, I thought, was actually pretty good. Or decent as far as I can remember. Then, like I said, it's been years since I've seen this movie. Like I was last time I saw Batman and Robin all the way through, I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. You know what? It's so bad. It's pretty fun. It's so bad that it's good. I'll put it at D. It's a bad movie. I will say that, but there are some others that I'm looking at right now that it's definitely worse. That are definitely worse than Batman and Robin, in my opinion. Next up is one of those movies that I was just talking about, Catwoman. One of, if not the worst superhero movie of all time. What more can I say about Catwoman that hasn't already been said by everybody else? If you haven't seen Catwoman, go watch it and you'll understand why everybody hates it so much. Even as a kid, I was bored out of my mind. I was hating every second of Catwoman. It's one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add another row of movies. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. But movies that I have not seen. And Hellboy 2, The Golden Army is one of those movies I have not seen. I've seen the first one, and I don't... Is the first one not on here? Seriously? Am I just not seeing Hellboy? They include they have to include the first one if they include the second one. And the remake I see right here. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it now. Okay, good. Okay. But yeah, Hellboy, the first Hellboy is the only one that I've seen with Ron Perlman. I haven't seen Hellboy 2, and I haven't seen that remake with Hopper from Stranger Things. I can't think of the guy's name. Apologies. I honestly I have not seen Blade Trinity. It's the only Blade movie out of that trilogy that I haven't seen. I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. But I've heard nothing but pretty much bad things about Blade Trinity, so I just stayed away from it. But I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say about Blade Trinity. TMNT. Uh, man, I was raised on the Ninja Turtles. Um, all four, I love all four of them equally. If I had to pick a favorite, it used to be when I was a kid. My favorite was Leonardo. Him and Mikey, I used to go back and forth between them two all the time. Now, as I've gotten older, I I'm starting to lean towards my favorite being Donatello. Um, and it's funny because when I was a kid, he was my least favorite, as I'm sure he was probably mostly everybody's least favorite turtle. But still, I love all four of them. I love mostly all the Ninja Turtles movies. There's one that's definitely the worst Ninja Turtles movie that I've ever seen. But TMNT, the 2007, I believe 2007 animated movie, it was, as far as I can remember, granted it's been a while, as far as I can remember, really did like it. Uh, but I don't know if I would put it on the B tier. Let's go with C. It was an average movie, but I do remember liking it, but I don't remember loving it or thinking it was anything special. But I mean, it was a average animated movie as far as I can remember. Captain Underpants. Have not seen Powerpuff Girls movie. I didn't even know there was a movie, to be honest. I haven't seen Iron Man 3. I wouldn't put it at D or F tier because I don't think it's a bad movie. Uh, the worst, I've already said in my ranking of all the MCU movies, the worst of the MCU, which I had, is Thor the Dark World. I don't consider it a bad movie. Uh, I mean, bad. It's bad in terms of the caliber of movie quality that the MCU provides, but I mean, I'd still watch Thor: The Dark World over Batman and Robin and Catwoman any day of the week. But Iron Man 3, I put it at level C. I mean, it's a average comic book movie. Oh, The Punisher. Honestly, I have seen The Punisher. I'm guessing this is the Thomas Jane Punisher. That's the only Punisher movie that I've seen. That's what the poster looks like. I'm not 100% sure, but if this is the Thomas Jane, either way, I'm gonna put it on haven't seen, even though I have. It's just been so long that I can't remember if I liked it or hated it, or thought it was okay. I don't remember what I thought about it. It was so freaking long ago. I watched it at an age where I probably shouldn't. I mean, everybody has those kind of movies where we watch it as kids where we're not supposed to, right?
What? No.
Suicide Squad is next. I'm torn between putting it at D or F tier. You know what? I'm saving the F tier. I'll put it at level D. I think it's better than Batman and Robin, though. So I'll put the Suicide Squad in front of Batman and Robin, but I'm saving the bottom tier, the F tier, for movies with zero redeeming qualities. Batman and Robin has a redeeming quality in the fact that it's so stupid, so bad that it's funny. It's kind of like I'm assuming I haven't seen the movie, but The Room. Tommy Wiseau, however you pronounce his last name. That movie, how it's so bad, it's funny. I've never seen it, so I can't really say it for certain, but that's what I've heard about it. That's what I kind of see Batman and Robin as, is the Room of superhero movies. Suicide Squad, you got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Will Smith as Deadshot. They make the movie somewhat watchable. So that's why I'm gonna put Suicide Squad uh, as the D tier. Next we got Ant Man. Uh, At least I would put it at B tier. I don't know about A. Yeah, I wouldn't put it at tier A. Uh, God, these two are A and the S or S tiers are they're gonna get some eventually. I know, but right now they're empty. Well, speaking of which, got Into the Spider Verse, which I have seen recently for the first time. S tier. It's one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. One of the best movies that I have ever seen. One of the best animated movies I have ever seen. I love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I had high expectations for. Uh, because I did a video a while back of 100 movies that I haven't seen. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was like the first movie that I had on that video, and it did not disappoint me in the slightest. The What's Up Danger scene alone is one of the best scenes in movie history. Not only superhero movie history, but movie history. Next, we got Avengers Infinity War. Gotta go top tier for me. Love, love, love Infinity War. It was my number 2 on the ranking of the MCU movies for good reason. For years from 2012 all the way up until 2018. People were complaining about being teased with Thanos. When is Thanos going to get out of that chair? When is he actually going to do something worthwhile? Infinity War was for everybody that complained nonstop about that kind of stuff. You got what you wanted, everybody died. Well, half of everybody died until they came back. Got Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is gonna go in the A tier. I wouldn't put it in the top tier only because there's a couple of things that I'm not that big of a fan of. I still love the movie, obviously, because I have it in the A tier, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never understood the fascination of Jeff Goldblum. I'm not hating on the guy or anything like that. I just there's some kind of fascination everybody has for him, and I just don't. I'm not in that same boat. Like I said, I don't hate the guy. I just don't understand the fascination. If you're one of those people that love Jeff Goldblum, please comment down below and let me know and explain it to me so I can understand why. And maybe even be the same way. I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing something that everybody else is. Who knows? But anyway, Thor Ragnarok, I'll put it at the A tier for now. The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one. I'm gonna put it in the B tier because I actually do like it more than just being an average movie. I think there are some fantastic scenes in the movie. I actually watched it pretty recently, which is why I would probably put it in B tier. I don't think Andrew Garfield is a terrible Peter Parker. I've always said that Tobey Maguire was the better Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was the better Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the perfect mix between both of them. But I mean, Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker was criticized for being too cool, too much of a hipster. That's basically what a nerd is in today's world. Today's world is not the people that complain about Andrew Garfield being too cool to be a nerd are people that graduated decades ago because they're used to the 80s trope of the nerd pushing up the glasses, snort. They think a nerd is like Urkel.
Did I do that? Did I do that? Did I do that?
And in today's world, a nerd is nothing like Urkel. And again, people who think that nerds are like Urkel, they graduated decades ago when a nerd was probably maybe like that. But in today's society, a nerd is basically what Andrew Garfield was in The Amazing Spider-Man. So I don't think he was a terrible Peter Parker. I just think that And then again, Tobey Maguire had 3 daggone movies to work with. Andrew Garfield only had 2. And he wasn't given all that much really to do, other than he was mainly, as far as I can remember. Then again, it's been a long time since I've seen the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but he was mostly the Spider-Man character, as far as I can remember. He was mostly Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man, but if I remember correctly, in the second one he was mainly Spider-Man. Then again, like I said, it's been quite a while since I've seen the second Amazing Spider-Man, so take that with a grain of salt. Captain America: Civil War, got to go the top tier for me. I love Civil War. I'm not going to spend time talking about most of these, as far as the MCU movies go, because I've already spent I don't know how long that video was, the ranking of the MCU movies. But I've talked about most of these quite a bit, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about some of them. X-Men Apocalypse. Oh, boy. I'm going back and forth between the D and the F tier. I'll put it in the D tier between Batman and Robin and Suicide Squad. The only reason I didn't put in the F tier was because one of Michael Fassbender's, that scene in the woods where I believe it was his wife and daughter. I believe it was his wife and daughter. But when those soldiers came and assassinated or killed both his wife and daughter, and that scene, great. Because of Disney Plus, I've been binge watched the whole X-Men animated series, and now looking at what Apocalypse could have been, I hate this movie even more. But the Michael Fassbender scene, the Quicksilver scene where he's saving everybody from that burning, exploding mansion, great. Those are the two that I can think of. Evan Peters in general in that movie, the two people that saved this movie from being as far as the F tier. Next, we got Daredevil. It's been a while since I've seen Daredevil. Like X-Men Apocalypse, I'm struggling between F and D. I don't remember any redeeming qualities about Daredevil. I'm trying to play the movie back in my head because it's been a while since I've seen it. But as far as I can remember, there's no real redeeming qualities about Daredevil, so I'm going to put it in the F tier. Which Superman is this one? Superman 4 I haven't seen. I've only seen the first 2 Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, and I loved both of them. Yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things about Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Quest for Peace or Quest of Peace? I think it's 4 Peace. Yeah, I mean, haven't seen Superman 4, so can't really comment on it, even though I have heard more negative things than positive. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Out of the Shadows. Yeah, I'd probably put it in the D tier. I wouldn't put it below. But out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Out of the Shadows, I mean, it has Bebop and Rocksteady, it has Krang, it has all that nostalgia stuff that I loved about the movie. The main criticism I have, the Turtles themselves were fine, great. And the same goes with the daggum first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which I'm assuming is also, yeah, it is on here. The Turtles themselves are great, but they focus so much on the daggum humans. Turtles are the stars of the movie, not the humans. Yeah, the humans are great. April O'Neil, Casey Jones, they're great. They're great, but no one goes to see Ninja Turtles for April O'Neil and Casey Jones. They go to see Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael. That's it. Nothing else. Guardians of the Galaxy, top tier for me. This is one of the best superhero movies of all time. There, I said it. From the characters, you know what? I changed my mind. there is one flaw that I can think of, but I still love the movie, so I don't know if I would drop it to the A tier. You know what? Yeah, I'll drop the Guardians of the Galaxy to the A tier. I'm saving like I'm doing for the F tier. I got to do the same for the top tier. The bottom tier, I can't find anything remotely that redeems the movie. Top tier, pretty much a flawless superhero comic book movie. And the flaw that I can think of in Guardians of the Galaxy is, even though I don't think he's that bad of a villain, I can understand why some people would say he is Ronan the Accuser. But I mean, I think he's an underrated villain. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's like a top 10 villain of all time. Nowhere even close. In fact, he probably wouldn't even crack the top 100 comic book movie villains. Maybe so. I don't know how many. He probably wouldn't crack the top 50 comic book superhero movie villains of all time. I said 100 originally, but I don't think that many. Oh man, if I figure if we go down that list of 100 villains that were in superhero movies, we'd come across a lot of bad ones. But yeah, I mean, Ronan the Accuser, he's a fine villain. I don't think he's that bad of a villain as much as some others do. Avengers Endgame. Now, I would put Avengers Endgame above Infinity War, but I'm trying to figure out if I would put it above Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't. I love Avengers Endgame. I really do. It was my number one of the MCU movies. But I think Into the Spider-Verse is a better movie. I love Endgame, but to me, Into the Spider-Verse, I would still put it uh, above. Yes, I love Into the Spider-Verse. Darkman, I have not seen. Green Hornet, I have not seen. Iron Man, I have to put Iron Man in A tier. But I mean, it started off the MCU, brought back Robert Downey Jr., Captain Marvel. Man, like I said, I'd put it on the C tier. Honestly, the more I think about Captain Marvel, the more I hate it. The politics aside, I really don't care about it. I'm talking about the movie in general. Weak villain, ruined the Skrulls, in my opinion, turned them into comic relief where they were a great kind of villain that could have been used. Maybe they'll still do that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I hope they do, because I've always been a fan of those kind of villains. The Chameleon, Clayface with Batman. All of these villains who can shapeshift and you never know who they are. I always have loved those kinds of villains. That's basically the Skrulls, and I mean they're just oh boy. And the daggum Goose the Cat. I mean, Goose the Cat was fine, but once he daggum clawed Nick Fury's eye out, I don't remember if I think I talked about this in the ranking video, but it just ruined what had come before in the MCU. Next up, Incredibles 2. Now, I just watched this movie for the first time recently, and I did not love it as much as the first one. Besides the Toy Story sequels, not counting the Toy Story sequels, The Incredibles 2, I would say, is the best Pixar sequel ever. I would put it above The Finding Dory. I would put it above Monsters University, even though it's a prequel / sequel. I would put it above any of the Cars sequels. But then again, I've only seen the Cars 2. I haven't seen the Cars 3. But I mean, Incredibles 2, it was essentially the same movie as the first one. The only thing that I loved which is why I'm going to put it at B tier above The Crow and above Amazing Spider-Man. The only reason I put it right there is because of Jack Jack. Jack Jack was the only thing that I loved about this movie. Jack, the daggum scene alone where he's daggum fighting the raccoon. That scene alone, Rocket Raccoon made a cameo. MCU, Pixar universe confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
There's Jack Jack in general, that movie with him and Edna, awesome. I wouldn't say I loved the movie, but I liked it because mainly of Jack Jack. Next up, Black Panther. Yeah, I put Black Panther below Big Hero 6, but above Incredibles 2. I didn't love Black Panther as much as everybody else did. I think it was very overrated. I don't think it should have been nominated for Best Picture. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It used to be, if I hadn't rewatched it in preparation for that ranking video of MCU movies, I would probably put it in the D or F tier. But I would put it above Iron Man 3. There are some things that I like more about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 the second time, because I've only seen it twice. Once in the theaters and once when I was preparing for that video. Dave Bautista as Drax, always funny. There were some seriously funny moments in the movie. I don't know what it was, but once it got to Ego, the Living Planet stuff, kind of lost me with some of it. Granted, some of it I liked, but some of it I didn't like with Ego, the Living Planet stuff. But I mean, it's a fine movie. I didn't really care that much about the Ravagers stuff. That I felt could have been left out. Me personally. But X-Men first, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I put it around there. X-Men First Class. I'm gonna go with below Black Panther because I think what Black Panther had that X-Men First Class kind of lacked was a good villain. I wasn't a big fan of Kevin Bacon's Sebastian Shaw. I wasn't a fan of Azrael, I believe is the Nightcrawler, red Nightcrawler looking guy was, who I believe was Nightcrawler's father, if I remember correctly, as far as I can remember being told. And I definitely wasn't a fan of the Emma Frost character. But I mean, X-Men First Class as a whole, I really enjoyed. It's a very underrated movie. Hancock, I have not seen. Elektra, like Daredevil, I would probably put it. I didn't even do this one. Daredevil, I would put above Catwoman. Catwoman versus Elektra, which is worse. Oh boy, that's a fight. I would probably put Catwoman below Elektra as far as which is worse. What did I put? Oh yeah, Hancock up there. Elektra, pretty crappy. Astro Boy, haven't seen. Fantastic Four. Oh man, which is worse, Fantastic Four 2015 or Catwoman? Those are two of the worst, no doubt. Yeah, I put it above. I put a Catwoman below Fantastic Four. I would put Catwoman below Fantastic Four. Only because there are some parts in Fantastic Four in the first couple of acts that I wouldn't say I liked, but it was more bearable than Catwoman. Minus the third act, with the crash test dummy Doctor Doom, it was a below average movie if it wasn't for that. Because of the Doctor Doom stuff, that put it near the bottom of this list. Dark Knight Rises. I have not seen Dark Knight Rises in quite a while. I would put Dark Knight Rises about right there. At the B level tier. I liked it. There were some parts that I didn't. There were some good parts in Dark Knight Rises. Man of Steel. I would put Man of Steel. I just rewatched Man of Steel and I really enjoyed it. But I would put it above, right between Dark Knight Rises and X-Men First Class. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. But I do remember more of Catwoman than I do remember Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. So for that reason, I'll put Catwoman above Spirit of Vengeance. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Been a while since I've seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, granted, but I do remember liking it. Yeah, that seems like a good spot for it. Then again, like I said, I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe it might be a little higher, maybe it'll be a little lower. Don't know. But as far as I can remember, that's about where it landed for me. Iron Man 2. And the ranking video, I had Captain Marvel above Iron Man 2, but the more I think about it, Captain Marvel is the only movie in that video that I didn't rewatch before doing that video. You know, the more I think about it, the more I don't like Captain Marvel. So there, I'm going to put Iron Man 2 above Captain Marvel now. Avengers Age of Ultron. Oh boy, now I'm going to get hate for this. Because I liked Avengers Age of Ultron. I didn't hate it as much as everybody else did. I'm not going to put it in the C tier. Yeah, Avengers Age of Ultron was a good movie. It's not great, but above average. A little above average. The Dark, oh boy. This one I'm going to get some hate for, I know. Hear me out. The Dark Knight is one of the most overrated movies of all time. I'm not going to say it's F tier. I'm not going to say it's D tier, C tier, or B tier. I would put it in the A tier below Guardians of the Galaxy. No, you know what? Above Guardians of the Galaxy. What am I talking about? But I think The Dark Knight is nowhere near the top of this list from me. Heath Ledger, great. He deserves to be at the top tier. Hands down. But the movie itself, I think a lot of people confuse The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's performance. I prefer Katie Holmes over Maggie Gyllenhaal. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Batman Begins, where you at? Batman Begins, I prefer over The Dark Knight. I know, well, I'm going to put it... I don't think I like it as much as Endgame, but Batman Begins I like a whole lot more than The Dark Knight. But I prefer Katie Holmes over Maggie Gyllenhaal. I could go on and on about this. Matter of fact, I kind of did. The Dark Knight, I still love. I did the top 100 movies of all time back in 2017, I believe it was. The Dark Knight was in my top 100 movies of all time. I don't remember where it ranked in that list, but it was somewhere in that list, I know. It's just overrated how great it was. I don't think it deserves to be number 4 or 5, whatever it is on IMDb, top 250 movies of all time. I don't think it should. I don't think the movies should be. Don't think it should have been nominated for Best Picture. I know this video is gonna make or break my channel right now with this daggone opinion. Because you can't say nothing wrong about The Dark Knight, or all those Nolan fanboys will come right back on you. But I mean, I don't like The Dark Knight as much as everybody else does. I still like The Dark Knight. I still like it. It's a good movie. Just not a Oscar winner, Best Picture, amazing, spectacular movie as far as everybody else says it is. A great performance and a good movie. That's it. Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, all of those three were better in Batman Begins. Green Lantern. Now, I did an FRR video, fan requested reviews, and I haven't seen it since. I didn't hate it as much as I did the first time I watched it. Still not a good movie. I don't know if I would. I'd probably put it around below Out of Shadows, but above Apocalypse. There were some decent scenes in the movie, albeit very little. But still, I'd watch Green Lantern above Daredevil, above Elektra, above Fantastic Four 2015, above Catwoman, above Spirit of Vengeance. I would watch Batman and Robin before Green Lantern, so I'll put Batman and Robin right there. X-Men Apocalypse I would put below that. Kick-Ass. Again, a movie I haven't seen in quite a while. I do remember liking it. I'm just going to go right there. So I can't, honestly. It's been a while since I've seen Kick-Ass. Jonah Hex I haven't seen. Blade, the first one, I would put above Kick-Ass. Superman 3 haven't seen. Tank Girl have never even heard of until recently. Winter Soldier. There you go. Thank you. Sheesh. Yeah, Winter Soldier I'd put at the A tier. X-Men Last Stand. There was some redeeming stuff about it. I put it at the top of the D tier. Punisher never seen. Spawn never seen. Rocketeer never seen. Spirit never seen. I'm just going to go by the ones that I have not seen. Go ahead and get those out of the way. Power Rangers. Supergirl. Yeah, Fantastic Four, I believe in like in the 90s or whatever it was. Hellboy 2019, whatever year that was. Dread, I haven't seen. Constantine. Just Dread. Shadow, never even heard of that one. Howard the Duck, I've never seen. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think that's the name of the movie. I can't, I guess, I don't know. I can't really read that. Some of the font is so freaking little. Captain America, the 90, I think it was in the 90s or 80s, I don't know. Shazam, I have not seen. I really want to, just haven't yet. I believe that's all that I haven't seen. I think everyone else I have at least once. Yep, okay, cool. Alright, Kick-Ass 2. I didn't love Kick-Ass 2 as much as the first one. I will put Kick-Ass 2 right there for now. I honestly can't remember that much about it. But I mean, I'm sure it's no worse, better than Guardians 2, Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, and Captain Marvel. Batman 89. Yeah, I put it about right there. Batman 89, I watched for the first time in a long time very recently. Yeah, some of the stuff doesn't hold up, but overall it's enjoyable, entertaining movie. Overall. Superman. Oh, man. Superman, I don't know. Yeah, I put it about right there. Honestly, I see why everybody likes Christopher Reeve as Superman. Fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, he is the best actor who has ever portrayed Superman in movie history. Superman 2, I will put. I'll put it below the Crow. Yeah. But Christopher Reeve, before watching Man of Steel, I heard how great he was. I bought that people wouldn't necessarily think that. Then it is a stretch. I will say that. Not saying it's not, but I'll say I believed him to be the best person to hide that he was Superman. Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill, both of those looked, sounded, acted the same way either way, whether they were portraying Clark or Superman. Not saying they were bad. I liked Henry Cavill. Brandon Routh was fine. The movie itself was just, I mean, I'll talk about it in just a second because I know I saw it earlier. The movie, Superman Returns, I'll go ahead and do that one. Superman Returns, it's fine. I've seen worse. I don't know where I'd probably put it, and I'll probably put it right there. I've seen worse, but I've seen better. But they acted the same way regardless of whether they were pretending to be they were Clark Kent or Superman. Christopher Reeve adapted to whatever he was doing. When he was Clark Kent, he was like shy and timid. He talked a little differently. He was basically like what I was talking about. I don't know what movie I was talking about earlier when I was talking about it. I was talking about the Amazing Spider-Man, how Peter Parker was a nerd with, or like Urkel. He was basically like Urkel was Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent. Not that extreme, not that kind of nerdy, but comparing his Clark Kent to the Superman, there was a noticeable difference between the two. Even though they looked the same, they acted differently. That's why I think Christopher Reeve is by far the best person to have played Superman by far. Then again, I do love Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm not saying he does a bad job, but comparing the two, Christopher Reeve, it's better. Ang Lee's Hulk. I'm not going in order anymore. I'm just going by what I see. Ang Lee's Hulk. I haven't seen it in a long time. I would put it above Daredevil, but still in that bottom tier. Thor: The Dark World. I mean, I'm telling you, the more I think about daggone Captain Marvel, the more I hate it. You know what? I gotta rewatch Captain Marvel just to make sure. But as far as today, right now, I'm putting Captain Marvel as the lowest of the low as far as the MCU movies are concerned. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I put it in the D tier for now. The Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk. If I can get it over there. Dadgummit. There you go. I would put it in the B tier. The first Incredibles movie, Incredibles, I would put it right between Guardians and The Dark Knight. Captain America, the first Avenger. I would put it right about there. Ghost Rider, 2007, I believe was the year. I wouldn't put in the F tier. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine that I mean, it's not a good movie. I would definitely put in the D tier. No, I'll probably put it about right there. I prefer The Last Stand over, because I just rewatched Last Stand. I watched the whole X-Men original trilogy, and I actually found myself actually kind of enjoying The Last Stand for what it was. There were some still things I didn't like about it, but as a whole, I thought the movie was pretty entertaining at the very least. I wasn't bored really at any time. Captain Marvel, I would put below Ghost Rider again. Ghost Rider, like Last Stand, to watch for the first time recently. Not a good movie, but there were some enjoyable parts as far as I'm concerned. It's a guilty pleasure. Fantastic Four, same thing. Then again, I will say I watched the Fantastic Four after watching the 2015 Fantastic Four, and I think that's why I like it a whole lot more now, because the 2015 Fantastic Four makes the 2005 Fantastic Four look like the frickin' Avengers or something. Now, comparing the Fantastic Four to the Avengers, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's nowhere close to that caliber, but figure of speech. Spider-Man 2. Dang, why do I keep doing that? Spider-Man 2, solid movie, but there are some things that I think are a little dated. Yeah, I probably put it below Winter Soldier, but above Iron Man. Wonder Woman. I put it in the A tier, but below Ragnarok. X2, the greatest X-Men movie of all time. Loved X2 very, very much. The Avengers, and I put it above Spider-Man 2 just because of what it meant for the movie. One of the most important superhero movies of all time. And I really, really enjoy it. And I understand all the people that complain about how slow it is with the helicarrier and all that stuff. If you're one of those people, I talk more about that kind of stuff in that ranking video. I'm not going to spend too much. Like I'm going way over, a little over an hour now. I don't. By the time I cut some of this stuff out, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's gonna be quite a long video. Did this crap again. Doctor Strange. Yeah, I put it below Batman '89. Deadpool 2. I liked Deadpool 2. I didn't love it as much as the first one. Uh, I put it above Age of Ultron, but below Kick-Ass. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, 2014. Hmm. I put it above or below the Out of Shadows. I would probably put it below, because Out of Shadows had some of the nostalgia factor, whereas Ninja Turtles, they were originally going to daggum have what's his name, William Fichtner. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, as the Shredder, but changed their mind at the last second, and it's pretty obvious. So I'll put it. I'll put it above Green Lantern, but below Batman and Robin. Hellboy. Oh man, Hellboy. I would at least put in the B tier. Music Fire. I'll put it above Men of Steel, Doctor Strange, Batman '89. Yeah, I put it above Wonder Woman. I loved Hellboy, Ron Perlman's Hellboy back in 2000. When did that movie come out? 2004, 2005, whatever. Spider-Man: Homecoming. I loved Spider-Man: Homecoming. I would put above Scott Pilgrim. I gotta rewatch Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's been forever since I've seen that movie. I'm really liking it. Big Hero 6, I would put it above. I'd probably put Spider-Man: Homecoming about right there, between Big Hero 6 and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Batman Forever. I wouldn't put it in the bottom tier just because there were some things that I thought were kind of enjoyable. Jim Carrey was decent as the Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones was awful as Two-Face. Yeah, I put Batman and Robin right there. Right between Batman and Robin and Out of the Shadows, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Venom. I didn't hate Venom as much as some other people do. It's not a good movie. I would probably put Last Stand above Venom, if I'm honest. The Wolverine. Wolverine, a decent movie, nothing too special. I'll probably put it about right there. Nothing too special, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the 1990 movie. Oh boy. Now if I'm doing my favorite, not necessarily the best, if I'm doing my favorite, it's going to be in the top tier. That's what this video is going to be. It's in the top, my favorite. I loved the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was raised on the Ninja Turtles to the point where when I was a child, some kids, they play cops and robbers. Some pretend they're Power Rangers. Me and my friends, we pretended we were the daggum Ninja Turtles. That's how much I loved the Ninja Turtles growing up. I had quite a few of the VHS tapes recorded on the animated show. I loved the Ninja Turtles, and that movie is by far the best the Ninja Turtles has ever been, and probably ever will be. Rise of the Silver Surfer. Another movie I haven't seen in quite a while. I've only seen it once. I didn't watch it in the theaters. I watched it on TV one time. I think it was like on FX or whatever channel it was. I will put Silver Surfer below Batman Forever, but above Batman and Robin. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Oh God. Is it a better or worse than Apocalypse. Now, here's the thing. I think X-Men Apocalypse is the better made movie of the two. X-Men Origins Wolverine and X-Men Apocalypse. I think X-Men Apocalypse is the better made movie. But I would put X-Men Apocalypse below Origins for the simple fact that if it wasn't for Origins, we wouldn't get the Deadpool movie, which I'm gonna do next. We wouldn't have gotten Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in that 2016 movie, which I'll put it below. But we wouldn't have that Deadpool movie in 2016. Yeah, it ruined Gambit. But X-Men Apocalypse, it had the opportunity to deliver one of the best superhero movie villains of all time in Apocalypse, and failed miserably. Thor I'll put in the B tier below Amazing Spider-Man. Good movie, but nothing too special. Batman Returns, and then again, it's been a while since I've seen Batman Returns, but I'll put Batman Returns between Big Hero 6 and Black Panther in the B tier. Amazing Spider-Man 2, there was some redeeming stuff about it. The Gwen Stacy and Peter relationship. I prefer that relationship over the Peter and Mary Jane in the Sam Raimi movies. I don't know if I put it right there, my bad. I mean, it killed a franchise just like Batman and Robin did. I put Amazing Spider-Man 2 about right there. There were some redeeming qualities in it, but overall, it wasn't that great of a movie. Aquaman. Aquaman, I will put above Man of Steel for sure. It was a surprising movie, to say the least. I wouldn't put it above Black Panther, though. I'll put it lower above Batman 89. I liked Aquaman a whole lot. It surprised the heck out of me. Mask, very, very underrated movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. But I really loved it when I was a kid. Jim Carrey, fantastic. I will put The Mask about right there, below Kick-Ass, but above Deadpool 2. Blade 2. Now here's the debate. There's some people that prefer Blade, the first Blade over the second one. There's some people that prefer the second one over the first one. I have to rewatch the first one because it's been a while since I've seen it. I've seen the second one most recently, and I'll put it in the B tier. Watchmen. Ooh. Now here's the thing. I haven't seen Watchmen in quite a while. I remember liking it. I put it about right there between Kick-Ass and The Mask at the B tier. There were some great moments in it, but there were some things that I would have probably left out. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I will probably put... I liked it more than Kick-Ass 2. I didn't love it as much as Wolverine. I'll probably put it right there on the C tier. Batman v Superman, there were some pretty good moments in it, but overall, it was kind of disappointing. Would I put it above or below the Wolverine? I would probably put it below. Spider-Man 3, unpopular opinion I have of the Spider-Man 3 actually being an actual pretty good movie. I don't know if I'd probably put it in the B tier. There are some major problems I have with it. Mainly Topher Grace's Eddie Brock Venom. That's my main criticism about it. The emo Peter Parker people have a lot of problems with. The dancing, the jazz, all that stuff. I don't think it's that bad of a move because that's what Peter Parker thinks is cool. That's the point of that scene. Is that Venom, the symbiote suit, giving him so much confidence that he thinks that he's cool when he's doing that jazz strutting, the finger pointing, the snapping, the winking, the dancing, all that kind of stuff. That's what Peter Parker would do in that scenario with that suit on corrupting his mind. But, whatever. Justice League. Oh, man. I actually really liked Justice League more than Suicide Squad the first time I watched it. And I still do like it more than Suicide Squad. But if I hadn't rewatched it recently, I would probably put it in the C or B tier. But now, oh man, after rewatching it for the first time since watching it in the theaters, because I've only seen it twice, I'm putting it in the D tier between Last Stand and Venom. Logan, top tier for me, but Logan I would put number 2 because I just rewatched it recently and oh man, loved it. Each time I watch it, I love it more and more. But yeah, Logan number 2 for me. V for Vendetta. As far as this list is concerned, I don't know if this is all the superhero movies of all time or not. I'm pretty sure it ain't. But out of this list, Logan, I'll probably put it number 2 for right now. I'm probably going to rewatch all these movies before I do that top 50 superhero movies of all time list, and I'm just stalling to find out where I want to put V for Vendetta because, honestly, it has been a while since I've seen V for Vendetta. I do remember liking it, though. I don't know if I would. Is it really a superhero movie? It's a comic book movie. And again, this is Chris, superhero movie and a comic book movie. I would put V for Vendetta above or below The Dark Knight. That is. I'd put it below The Dark Knight probably. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's the first Spider-Man movie. I will put Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I'll put it between Spider-Man 2 and Iron Man. I really enjoyed the first Spider-Man movie. X-Men Days of Future Past. Again, like The Dark Knight, I find Days of Future Past to be very, 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 very overrated. I still like it. It's a good movie, but I don't think it's anywhere close to the best of the X-Men movies. I think Logan, I think X2, I think Deadpool are far better movies. X-Men Days of Future Past, Michael Fassbender was great. Hugh Jackman was great. James McAvoy was great, but it spent so much freaking time, too much time with Jennifer Lawrence to the point where she was, minus Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, she was the central character. I'm sick to death of Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. I'll put it above Hulk in the B tier. Sky High, I think, is a very underrated movie. Granted, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but still, I really remember liking Sky High. Will I put it above Watchmen? I gotta rewatch Sky High because it has been quite a while since I've seen it. But I'll probably put Sky High on the B tier between Watchmen and The Mask. X-Men, the first X-Men movie. I will put. I'll put the first X-Men movie in the A tier between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. There were some things I did not like about it. Halle Berry as Storm, James Marsden as Cyclops, and Anna Paquin as Rogue. Those three characters, after watching the animated series, before watching the animated series, I didn't really care for them. I didn't hate them. I didn't like them. They were just there. But after watching the animated series, those three characters in the original trilogy, they missed the ball very, very much. But yeah, this is my tier. The top tier. I got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Logan, Avengers Endgame, Batman Begins, Avengers Infinity War, Superman the Movie, Captain America Civil War, X2, X-Men United, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. In the A tier, The Dark Knight, V for Vendetta, The Incredibles, Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America the Winter Soldier, The Avengers, Spider-Man 2, X-Men, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor Ragnarok, Hellboy, Wonder Woman. On the B tier, X-Men Days of Future Past, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America the First Avenger, Ant-Man, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Spider-Man Homecoming, Big Hero 6, Batman Returns, Black Panther, Dark Knight Rises, Aquaman, Batman 89, Doctor Strange, Man of Steel, X-Men First Class, Incredibles 2, The Crow, Superman 2, Blade, Kick-Ass, Watchmen, Sky High, The Mask, Deadpool 2, Avengers Age of Ultron, Blade 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, Thor, Spider-Man 3, C tier, TMNT, The Wolverine, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Kick-Ass 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, Superman Returns, Thor the Dark World. The D tier, X-Men The Last Stand, Justice League, Venom, Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four 2005 to be specific, Ghost Rider, Captain Marvel, Suicide Squad, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, Batman Forever, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, Batman and Robin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014, I believe was the year, Green Lantern, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men Apocalypse. The bottom tier, the worst of the worst, the Hulk, or not just Hulk, Ang Lee's Hulk, Daredevil, Elektra, Fantastic Four 2015, Catwoman, and the worst superhero movie I have ever seen out of this list, Ghost Rider, The Spirit of Vengeance. And the ones that I have never seen, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, Jonah Hex, Hancock, Astro Boy, The Punisher, which I have seen a while back, but I just can't remember to rank it properly. Green Hornet, Blade Trinity, Captain Underpants, Powerpuff Girls, The Dark Man, or just Dark Man, Superman 3, Superman 4, Tank Girl, Supergirl, Power Rangers, Punisher, whatever Punisher movie that is. I think I made like 4 of them. Spawn, Fantastic Four, somewhere in the 90s, I think. Rocketeer, Spirit, this is very professional, I know. Hellboy 2019. What the daggone? Oh, Steel, Shaq's movie, never saw it. Dredd, Constantine, Judge Dredd, The Shadow, Howard the Duck, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, another Punisher movie, Captain America, the 90 version, and Shazam. Alright, so that was my superhero and comic book movies tier list. Let me know what you guys think of my tier list in the comments below. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What are some that you think I should have rated low on? What are some you think I should have moved a little higher, aka The Dark Knight? But whatever you think, comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below and let me know so I will continue to do these, and hit that share button as well. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, like me on Facebook, JMash97, follow me on Twitter, JMash97, follow me on Instagram at JMash_97. All those social media links are in the description below. Mash out.